Welcome here, and we're in Just Us Cafe on Barrington Street in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Welcome to the next episode of Nova Scotia Tattoo Forum Tattoo TV. Today we're here with, and Catherine is going to tell us a little bit about her tattoos, and we're going to discuss tattoo culture. So you've told us your name. Would you mind telling us, do you live in the area?
Yeah, I actually live in this neighborhood, pretty central, just up around Lake Windsor and Carter Street.
Okay, so did you grow up around Halifax?
Yeah. I actually grew up in Glasgow, so like Nova Scotia. I moved here when I was 12. Yeah, I've been here pretty much ever since.
Yeah. So you have tattoos. That's visible. So why don't we talk about this perhaps a little bit chronologically? So maybe your first tattoo. Tell us a bit about that.
My first tattoo I actually got when I was quite young. I was 13. It's been covered up now.
Okay.
It's gone. It was done by a friend of my dad's. Crazy story. My dad was like, "Oh, you're 13. Would you like a tattoo for your birthday?"
Yeah.
Of course, as a 13-year-old, you're like, "Yeah, it's so cool." Obviously, not the best decision, but with it. And probably about 2 years ago, I was like, this is like so distorted and terrible. I have to get this covered.
Yeah. So that sounds like that's a pretty cool story. So how many tattoos do you have now? You started when you were 13. That's impressive.
I don't have too many considering. 7, including like 2 little stickers. 8.
Okay. And so how many of those have you?
9, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
How many of those have you gotten in Nova Scotia?
All of them.
Really? So around different parts of Nova Scotia, or can you tell us a little about that?
I got, like, the first one I got was in Nova Scotia as well. But, like, the guy, he's been back and forth, and, like, he's worked with, I actually have 2 people that do all of my tattoos right now. I'm looking to expand on that and get into some other artists.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of looking to see what kind of work that I like, what I'm interested in, what there's people that I really solidly trust, and who have been tattooed by since they were working at other races. So,
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So what type of, I guess, let's talk about a little about meaningful tattoos. So what are your most meaningful tattoos, or would you be able to choose?
I'm not exactly like a totally meaningful tattoo person. Like, they all have thought behind them, and there is a reason for all of my tattoos. As far as like this is like so close to my heart for this reason, it's not really like that. My tattoos are mostly tributes, tributes to things in my life, things that were important events in my life, or things that I just want to be reminded of within myself on a regular basis. So that's.
They all have their own individual meanings?
Sort of, in a collective manner. Like, it's like once I started getting tattoos, I started looking more into tattoo culture and realizing that, like, it's better to, like, sort of, if you're gonna be heavily tattooed, you kind of want to go with, like, things that are gonna work together and think about how things are gonna, like, meld and sort of kind of mesh. Also, I lied. I actually have like 9 tattoos. Like, I got this tattoo. It's really recent, and I forgot about it.
So, what's the story behind that tattoo?
This one's an interesting story. It was a guy. He came up from Richmond, Indiana. I'm not sure how long he's been practicing as a tattoo artist. Definitely a few years. At first he approached me and was like, "Yeah, I'd like to tattoo you, like, let's do this trade." It was a little bit of an illicit trade, so and at first I was like, "Oh, like, I don't really trust that, like, I wouldn't just, like, get a tattoo from some random stranger." And then, like, a few people that some I knew and, like, some that he knew showed me actual work on themselves that he had done, and I was like, "Oh wow, like, I actually really like your style, I really like your work. I'm actually interested in this." So I approached him again and was like, "Yeah, let's do this." And he's like, "Okay, this is my style. I like to draw right on people, and if they like it, then I tattoo it on them." And I was like, "Okay, draw it. Like, we'll see. These are the things that I like, and this is what I like about your style. Let's try and make them work." and he drew it up on my arm, and I was like, gorgeous, let's go for it, let's do it. So, 2 hours later, there was a sweet new little tattoo.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite work with everything that I've got, but at the same time, he placed it in such a way that it's like I can totally work around it, totally work with it, sort of, hide it in there, like, so I'm super happy with it.
So do you have more plans to keep going with that individual artist or along that theme?
Not with him, because he went back to the States. Like, he was just here visiting traveling. So he was here for like 2 weeks and now he's gone. I'll probably never see him again. Maybe I will, who knows.
Could you tell us what was his name?
He goes by the name Rats.
Rats.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know his real
A
name.
little bit of an underground character.
Yeah.
Somebody to look for. Okay. So that's a really cool experience. So do you, like I was just getting into a bit of the future. So do you have more of a vision of where you want your next tattoo from?
We're just using it back on the audio. We're just
My
using it to
next
back up the
tattoo,
audio.
like,
And get it
I'm
closer.
right now I'm going on working with this half sleeve. Beginning like the inside and then like wrapping around in here to sort of work with the art in both these.
Okay.
It's going to be the same artist as that worked on this, and that's actually my next schedule.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot simpler than what this is. It's just going
Move
to
it right in.
I'm going to go with very dark colors, similar purples to this. Keep the mind.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I think that, so further than that, would you say that would be your dream tattoo, or do you have any more ideas beyond that for dream?
I don't know if I would say I'd have a specific dream tattoo. There's a few things that I'd like to get. I guess like, going back to that meaningful thing, I'd love to get my coat of arms, just because of the family ties. I have very strong family ties. I have a lot of very solid family history. Some of that is dying out now, just as things are progressing with technology, things like the way the future is today. A lot of my family history is sort of disappearing, so I really like to get that coat of arms because it's actually pretty rare now.
Yeah.
Just keep that alive a little longer.
I think that's a great idea. My brother has a coat of arms tattoo, so that's kind of I think it makes a lot of sense. So, could you expand on maybe your vision for tattoo culture in the future? Do you see, or what do you see? I guess.
Tattoo culture is obviously growing at a very fast pace, and more and more people are getting tattoos. Less and less taboo, more and more acceptable in the workplace. More trendy. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the trendy thing because I think people are just jumping into getting tattoos without thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I did that myself, but it's not always the best place to start.
Yeah.
But I think that it's good because with tattoo culture growing, regulations are getting better. Tattoo shops are cleaner, more standardized. Things are a lot safer than they used to be. I remember with some of my first tattoos, there was no regulations at all in Nova Scotia, so like you didn't even need to have hot running water. That could have been dangerous. Luckily, the people that I started getting tattoos from were pretty safe and pretty serious about what they were doing, and are still very good friends of mine, and I still really have them. And they're working in a very established shop that's actually pretty well known in Nova Scotia.
So that's lucky. So could you give us any closing words or general thoughts you have on tattoos?
Pardon?
Do you have any general thoughts or anything like that you would like to add, or would you say you've kind of spoken to me about tattoos?
I don't think I have any thoughts. I said pretty much.
Yeah, you're good. All right, I feel like I learned a lot, so thank you very much. It was excellent meeting you. All right. Well, boom. This has been Nova Scotia Tattoo Forum, Tattoo TV.
Where are we?
In Just Us on Barrington Street in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Find that button eventually. And I did it. All right. Thank you.